For millennia his name has been whispered in hushed tones, in golden temples and in the dark shadows of the necropolis. His presence was felt, the jackal-headed god Anubis, not a ruler of life, but a shepherd of souls, a guide to the silent realms beyond our own. This is his story, one of the ancient Egyptian beliefs where life and death were intertwined. More than just a mythical creature, Anubis was a fundamental force in the ancient Egyptian understanding of the cosmos. He was not feared as a harbinger of death, but revered as the divine guardian who led the dead through the treacherous paths of the underworld. Why a jackal? To the ancient Egyptians, these creatures were often observed scavenging near the edges of the desert, the very edge where the living met the dead. In their eyes, the jackal was intimately connected to the realm of the dead, a silent witness to the passing of life. Anubis, in his divine form, embodies this natural connection. He is the embodiment of that liminal space where the veil between worlds thins. More than just an animal relationship, Anubis' black fur had its own significance. For the Egyptians, black represented not only death, but the rich, fertile soil of the Nile Valley, a place of rebirth and new beginnings. Anubis, cloaked in black, was therefore a symbol not only of death, but also of the promise of regeneration, a cycle as constant as the rhythm of the river. His very presence held the promise that even death was not final. Anubis' role was not born of malevolence. Rather, it arose from a deep sense of divine order. His task was delicate, to protect the bodies of the deceased and guide their souls. Without him, the balance of Mat, the principle of universal order, would be at risk, the delicate cycle of life and death threatened. He was an architect of the Egyptian afterlife, a bridge between the two worlds. Central to this task was the art of mummification. The Egyptians believed that preserving the body was important so that the soul would have a place to return to in the afterlife. And Anubis was the patron god of this intricate process. He was believed to oversee the embalming process and preparation for the afterlife, ensuring that the deceased was well prepared. In this act of preservation, there is not only a deep reverence for life, but also a profound understanding of the delicate balance between earthly existence and the eternal realm. Perhaps Anubis' most iconic duty is his role in the weighing of the heart, a great judgment that took place in the Hall of Mat. This was the ultimate test that determined the fate of the deceased's soul. It was here that the heart, considered the seat of one's soul and consciousness, was carefully placed on a scale. On the other side of the scale was the feather of Mat, the representation of truth, justice, and cosmic balance. Anubis, with his unwavering gaze, presided over the weighing. If the heart was lighter than the feather, signifying a life lived in accordance with Mat, the soul was deemed worthy and granted passage to the paradise of the afterlife. But a heavy heart, burdened by deceit, greed, or injustice, would be heavier than Mat's feather. Such a soul would not pass, would not receive the reward of paradise, and what followed would be a fate far more disturbing. The soul with the heavy heart was doomed to be devoured by the monstrous Ammit, the Soul Eater, a creature whose very form embodied chaos and the fear of annihilation. This was not an eternal punishment, as commonly perceived, but a complete cessation of being. Ammit was the ultimate reminder to live life in truth and harmony. This dramatic event demonstrated how sacred this moment of judgment was. Anubis was not only the guide, but also the guardian of these events. So Anubis is not just a god of death, he is a profound embodiment of justice and order, ensuring that the scales of the afterlife remain balanced. He was the guardian who distinguished the worthy from the unworthy, the righteous from the wicked. Although Anubis is closely associated with death, his influence extends throughout the Egyptian pantheon. He is often depicted accompanying Osiris, the god of the underworld and rebirth, assisting in the process of judgment and ensuring that divine order was maintained in the afterlife. He was a loyal and powerful presence in the grand scheme of their mythology. His importance extended to the living as well. Many Egyptians invoked Anubis, protection not only at the time of death, but also throughout their earthly existence. He was seen as a protector against dark forces and a guide through life, many challenge. In the vast landscape of the Egyptian pantheon, Anubis played a unique and crucial role, a thread that wove together the tapestry of life, death, and eternity. The meticulous preparation of the body during mummification, from the removal of organs to the wrapping of the body in linen, was considered sacred work. A ritual led by priests who were seen as the earthly representatives of Anubis. In a very real sense, those who prepared the deceased attempted to mirror the gods' actions. These rituals helped reinforce that death was not an end, but merely the starting point for a new beginning. Throughout the millennia, Anubis has endured in both the art and mythology of ancient Egypt. From majestic reliefs on temple walls to inscriptions on sarcophagi, his image speaks to the timeless human fascination with the afterlife and the belief that something lies beyond our mortal existence. This jackal-headed god, the overseer of death, is also a protector, a guide, and a symbol of hope that death is not the end, but part of a larger cycle. His teachings and symbolism were meant to comfort the living, giving meaning to the loss of loved ones.